Hi everyone, Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to get into it for the Libra Collective, Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any placement. Everyone's welcome though. Libra, happy 7-7 portal. All right, 77 has to do with your inner wisdom, with connecting with your spirituality, your intuition, and it also has to do with things like life lessons, perhaps spiritual tests. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to look into specifically areas of money, luck, career, fortune, finances. We'll look at, what sort of energy is coming in for this upcoming month, and time's approximate, of course. But we'll also look into if there are any warnings with the month ahead, if what sort of gifts will the month deliver for us, how can we make the most of that energy, and then of course, like I said, any hurdles or blocks, we will review that. We'll get into angel numbers. I always pull animal cards as well. I'm going to pull cards specific to entrepreneurs as well, so if that's something you're interested in, great. And we'll pull an activation card too, so an abundance activation card. But we'll use tarot cards, oracle cards, and of course I will share channeled messages. Let's get into it with some tarot tokens first, though. So 77, of course, can also have to do with luck, like your luck improving, your luck changing. Seven's often associated with luck. All right, Libra, Libra. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. I love that it's a 10. The majority of Libra suns are born in the 10th month, so it just kind of shows me that we're connecting, we're tuning into that Libra energy, which it's never a question on this channel, right? It's all Libras all the time. But all right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, and I just mentioned luck. And with the Wheel of Fortune, the thing is you have options. It's not, the Wheel of Fortune isn't sudden magic turn of events that's going to change your luck. What it is, though, is you having more authority, you having that more control over your success and your luck in general. It's good fortune. Now we have been getting the it's good fortune if you know what to do with the energy, right? And that's part of what this reading is going to get into. Like, how do we work with these energies? How can we plan for this? So it's not just, again, like sudden. It's sort of like you're the one capitalizing on the energy or the opportunities. You're the one who's making progress with the seeds of potential that the universe is wanting to give you. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, get into the oracle cards. I think I'll also pull fortune cookies towards the end of the reading for each zodiac sign, so that way you can look at your other placements very briefly. For Libra, Libra, what do we have for you? This is going to be an energy of reevaluating, though. I always do a meditation before the reading, Libra, and I was getting something here about like practical planning over big risks. And again, that's just for July. But what you're doing now, Libra, the seeds you plant, where your attention goes, that's where you're going to be growing things for the next 6 months, even years. So you're really positioning yourself for growth. This is recalibration and refinement. That's what I'm getting. And as I said that, my lights flickered. You wouldn't have seen it because I have special lights on the table. But, oh my goodness, Libra. What are the odds of that, right? This is a deck by Maruka X, and it's there's like 80 cards or something more even, and you have Libra right on it. So Libra, there could be a new romantic relationship unfolding that could be deeply meaningful for you. Can I speak? And I love that it's kind of like another wheel, right? So we've got the wheel. I love that it's 7-7 portal. Libra, we are in fact the 7th zodiac sign, right? So we're all tuned into the sevens, and this card, it doesn't have to, it does remind me of the Wheel of Fortune. I love that. But it doesn't have to be romantic love, right? It says that, yes, it could be. And maybe there you are doing a little of the business of love thing. I don't really recommend that, but you do you, right? Standard disclaimer applies. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Your intuition is what knows best. But it could be something you're going to love, right? A new opportunity, or maybe even you're thinking about opportunities that could increase your income through creative projects, right? Something you're passionate about. I was getting that. I was getting, you could find yourself reviewing budgets, subscriptions, any sort of long-term financial commitment is something you could be reviewing. So there could be opportunities, though, that increase your income through things like side work, learning. Any sort of learning you do now could really pay. You could be asked to share your knowledge, and you have path to knowledge, and you have tricky situations. This is about journeying into a realm of knowledge to assist in your personal, I'm going to add, and professional growth. And we have tricky situations, so there could be a sly approach that's necessary in order to safely navigate tricky situations. Yet you might not know just how to take something, and you also could be feeling as though you're having to kind of prove yourself in an area where you know you're strong. Again, I share channeled messages as I receive them. That is something I am getting. Investments in education, though, certifications, all that stuff, any sort of business expansion is going to be worthwhile for you. But it's about slow and steady. One warning that is coming in, though, is definitely avoid the impulsive spending. We could be tempted in July. All right. So this is especially if it's an emotionally charged moment of some kind. Libra, you could be tempted to reward yourself too after a stressful period, or like say you secure a deal or land a job or finish a project or something, and you want to reward yourself like big. I would hold off if it were me, but I'm not a financial advisor, right? You do you know your situation best. If you have the money in the pot, great, go for it. Do what you want to do, right? But I am getting this kind of energy of like, be careful you don't spend it before you even get it, So it's like kind of like I've done this before myself. You get a good job and you know that it's going to pay better than what you have now. So you kind of splurge a little, like on maybe an awesome wardrobe for the new job, or a new car or something. And then it's like, oh wait, and then you start the new job and you already have like credit card stuff or something. So just kind of being mindful of don't spend it before you even get it. That's what's coming in. But again, you do you. I am getting this again. It's slow and slow and steady energy, like you're getting ready. Some of you are going to be taking initiative here, using your connections. Things like networking looks great, but you could be feeling like you really want to explore. This is part of this tricky situations. It's like wanting to explore opportunities where you're going to be valued, because it seems as though you're not being valued, a lot of you, where you are. All right. You don't want to overdo anything, though. This is the thing. We don't want to be overdoing something, or again, acting from a place of emotion. Okay. I can't really stress that enough, right? I don't know. So I don't know what's going to come up that's going to make us maybe want to make an emotional purchase or something. But yeah, just something to be mindful of. And we have up in the air. So there's a situation that could have unknown elements due to the influence of others. But I feel connections could be good. However, there's a little caveat that I am getting with this, Libra. If you have, say, a partner or a sibling or a friend, or even your parents that you take care of, or somebody, your kids even, someone else in the mix of your day-to-day life could be influencing your ability to make money or to grow in some way, to expand. And so, like, for example, maybe you're like, well, how can I possibly juggle my career, my family, my aging parents, my blah, 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 so just kind of, that's one thing to keep in mind, that there could be this sort of like tug of, not a tug of war, but like something kind of pulling on your energy a bit, like, well, but you're needed here, so a little bit of a almost like guilt, but there shouldn't be guilt as you grow and expand. And yeah, there's just something here as you utilize your full skill set and power and things. It could affect those around you, and they might not be happy at first, but I feel like those are growing pains, right? Not just you will have growing pains as you step into something bigger and better for you. So something else to keep in mind. Oh, let's see what else I was getting for you, Libra. I was getting like not overnight stuff, is that's kind of like, I'm not getting a quick energy, but I am getting a big energy, like particularly as we get towards like July 20th. I don't know exactly the astrology off the top of my head, but I'm thinking third and fourth weeks of July look even better to me than, if there were wrinkles, they're smoothed out by then. Hierophant was coming in too. Now, that can have to do with you sharing your knowledge, right? Or even getting more knowledge when in a reading like this. So but also I was getting the lucky number 13, the lucky date of July 13th could be significant. My lights just flickered again. Okay, so you're going to want to take initiative though too, Libra. Okay, if something even feels up in the air, you're going to want to take initiative. I want to get some, let's get right into tarot. Let's do that. This is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot by Julia Massaglia. All right, so, or Massaglia, I don't know. Massaglia. Anyway, all right. What do we have, please? For Libra. This one, okay. Oh my goodness, Libra, you can't make that up. You have another Wheel of Fortune. So now you have 1010 in your reading. So you get on 7-7 portal, you're getting 1010. What is that all about? Well, I'll tell you what it's all about. For some of you, it's like the new path, Libra, is one you're absolutely going to love. Okay. It's also about you, Libra, following your heart. Okay. Doing what you know you do best. If it's teaching, great. If it's art, great. Music, great. Music is art, but you know what I'm saying. We're getting a lot of tens, and tens can have to do with like kind of like you're not new at something, because the thing that the ones are beginnings, right? And the tens are like all the way to the end of the numeric scale here of tarot. So it goes, all the way from 0 to 20. Well, let me start over. Okay, I'm back. I had to stop the camera. I was getting very tongue-tied, and I was starting to not make sense to myself here. So I get very excited sometimes, and so I'm like, okay, take a deep breath. Anyway, tens having to do with a cycle ending, but then it leads to a new beginning, right? Because it goes down to from a 1, 0, 10. You go down to a 1. So it's that new beginning after a difficult cycle. So this is a brand new cycle for you. And it's a whole new path. It leads to a whole new way of living for some of you. The pathway for you, Libra, seems to be one that really does correspond with the planet Jupiter, with luck. Because that's what the Wheel of Fortune has to do with, right? It has to do with Jupiter. So this is like really positive. This is like angelic assistance, even. I mean, on a mega scale. It feels though that again, it's not necessarily like just overnight. Luck and fortune is going to improve, but it's because you're using things like networking, connections, you're collaborating, there's communication, maybe you're reconnecting, yes, with people from the past, and that can open unexpected doors. Or it could be something that you're, just like fortunate moments could come up through chance conversations, through referrals, or even a random like invitation or good connection, and that you really just weren't even expecting, like kind of spur of the moment in the grocery store. Someone you already know could play a very important role. You're going to want to say yes to some of these invitations and opportunities that are coming in. This is going to be a welcome change of positivity here with this Wheel of Fortune. All right. That wheel's always turning, right? And you get to choose which direction it's going in. So if you've been feeling like, things just haven't been working out, be ready, because things are changing. You have the opportunity now to change that for yourself. So keep your energy and your thoughts positive, and focus on exactly where you want to go, what direction you want that wheel to head in, right? You're not just a victim of life here. You're in the driver's seat. You're at that wheel. So life cycles, change, opportunities coming in for Libra. Tell us more. Path to knowledge is clarified by 2 cards, and that's okay. You've learned where to invest here. And you know what, Libra? You're making necessary changes to your environment. Both of these cards make me think of that or feel that for us here. The 9 of Pentacles, that's excellent. So another 7 here, right? So now we have 777 on the 7-7 portal, Libra. The 7 of Pentacles is all about making those wise decisions, right? Those wise investments, like, and it's continuing to work on things and celebrate the progress that you have made. And I feel like a lot of you have learned to do that, because this can also have to do with this path of knowledge card for you. So the Nine of Pentacles too, you've done this difficult stuff before, Libra, whatever it is. You've done it before, and it's going to be about learning to effectively utilize all your resources, and realizing that some resources, they're not infinite, like energy, for like you only have so much energy, and you only have so much time in a day, right? So really knowing how to allocate funds and energy and attention, but if you've been thinking about making a big move, this is like keeping your eyes open for the right investments. And you, Libra, are your number one asset. So making sure you're making plenty of time to fill your own cup, so to speak. Let's see what else we get. Underneath, tricky situations for lovely Libras. If you're enjoying this reading, please do like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, become a member. I appreciate all of it. Hype the video. Thank you so much. All right, Libra. Oh my goodness. I wish I'd said it out loud, but I was thinking to myself, what kind of aces will we get? Because Libra, you've had multiple readings now where you have 3 or 4 aces. So here we have this beautiful ace of, I almost want to call it the ace of practicality right now. You might be taking more of a practical approach to something, or maybe you're like, you know what, I've been doing that and it's difficult and I'm ready to do something I love now. So, but isn't it great if it can be both practical and something you love? Does something really make sense, Libra? If there's one thing you're awesome at, it's analyzing, okay? And so analyzing beautiful spaces, creation, beautiful art, all that. We're good at so many things, but seeing all sides to a situation. This is like you're gonna know what to do with this Ace of Pentacles. And Libra, if you felt like you lost an opportunity or missed a chance, it's coming back around, because that's the thing. It wasn't really meant for you anyway. This one coming up is. So this is like knowing which opportunities to invest in. Not everything is going to be great, and you're going to have to use your skill set to your thinking abilities, and also your intuition, and you just pair it with your heart and see, how do you really feel about a certain opportunity that's coming in that could really come out of nowhere, because this is it seems like it's a surprise that kind of comes out of nowhere. If you are seeking employment, you could hear back regarding an application, maybe an interview. It could even be a temporary position that then leads to something permanent, because this can be, an upgrade. This can absolutely be new income, new job, being promoted. Those of you already employed, this could be additional responsibilities, leadership opportunities, getting recognized for your expertise, right? Because you have this path to knowledge too. If you've been feeling stagnant, July is going to encourage you to explore alternatives instead of just remaining where you feel undervalued, okay? And if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, this is about increased visibility, especially through things like networking, social media, coaching, healing work, anything where you're creating content. What else do we have? Anything. So this up in the air, tell us. Up in the air, we have the Queen of Cups. Use your intuition, Libra. How do you really feel about this? Something that's unknown here. It's like you're getting some clarity here. You're getting those answers that you seek. This is about some sort of healing support too. Maybe that's you. Maybe you are a healer. Let's see what else we have. Something that's been, maybe that you've been trying to kind of get through for a while. It's like you reach that point where you overcome it, completely. Any residual work that needed to be done, or healing or efforts, it's like you get it. There we go with the 5 of Pentacles here, and it actually came out in reverse. I flipped it. So this is about financial recovery here, some sort of positive change and improvement. Okay, it's because you're focusing on your strengths. So it did come out in reverse, and I'm the one who flipped it. So, but that's because it's like focusing on both. I feel like your mindset may need to change before your situation changes. Well, I mean, that's like almost always the case, right? Your mindset needs to change before things can really be shifting on the outside, right? That internal change needs to happen. And I feel like for a lot of you, it has happened. What else do we have? We have the Magician. There it is. As above, so below, right? This is manifestation. This is you focusing your attention, really focusing on also, again, the environment. There's something here about you with your environment. Make the changes you need to make. Internal environment, environment around you, all of it. All four aces on the table here. They have the resources, they know when and how to use them. Again, your greatest asset is like your attention, your energy, right? This is ultimate willpower, though. This is making, taking one opportunity and creating an abundance of opportunities, right? This is really, really good, Libra. You're making the most out of this too, this energy. Okay, and so for tricky situations, Ace of Pentacles, it's like you may be tempted, Libra, to hang on to something that's not as good for you, not good enough for you, because you're worried you won't have other options. I'm telling you right now, you have other options, and you have at least four. A lot of you. That just kind of fell out of my mouth, so that's the truth, Ruth. What do we have? We've got the Three of Pentacles. This is about you being center stage to some degree. This is building something together, you perfecting your craftsmanship. You may be very busy, but also in the spotlight, and it's kind of like how do you navigate through both? You could be asked to step into a mentor role. As I said, they're on stage kind of, right? They're the ones doing the work and other people are onlookers. So this is about, and Libra, I'm going to tell you, you naturally excel at that, at leadership opportunities. Whether you like it or not, it comes through as that's a natural talent for you. I will tell you though, most likely timeline for the month. I was getting, where's my paper here? I lost my meditation paper that I wrote the things down, but I already kind of know it. So July 1st to the 10th, this is going to be about tying up loose ends for you, Libra, okay? It's going to be about reflections, planning, refinement maybe. Then as we get to like, say, I'll break it into 10-day slots. So as we get into July 11th to say the 20th, that's when there could be new conversations, invitations, opportunities that are emerging, all right? Networking, big then. Then the last third of July, it's momentum increasing for something. Decisions are now made. They're going to influence the next months and years to come, Libra, all right? So the key message for you, Libra, I will say another key message is relationship building. Okay, believe that your experience has more value than you think it does, because I feel like a lot of you're just not giving yourself enough credit for all you've achieved, all you've accomplished. There's a reason you're being put in that spotlight, Libra. It's to shine. So become, get visible here. Allow yourself to be visible. Let's see what else we have. Celebrations, card 5. There it is. Celebrations, Libra. This is about you being ready to bring in new and exciting things. Okay, you're bringing that into your life. What else do we have? Cracker, card 7. There's another 7. Now you have 7, 7, 7, 7. All right. So, you have a 7 of Pentacles. It's on the 7-7 portal. And now you have a 7. And then I had pulled the 77 card. There's just 7s written all over. The 7s and 10s are big here, Libra. All right. So we have positive energy surrounding you. Love, joy, and good fortune await. This is very positive. I mean, like I said, you even have new love. Whether it's romantic or not, there's new love here. Something or someone to love, something or someone that's going to help light you up, Libra. And again, maybe they're the ones actually putting you in the spotlight. Maybe one being valued in one area of your life spills over into other areas, and you're like, yeah, I am awesome, and you start to realize that, and that just builds the momentum. What else do we have? Mountain, card 22. Know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. Yes, remain cautious. Your intuition's going to guide you. What else do we have? Eagle, card 9. You will soar towards your destiny with greater strength and clarity. And Libra, you have 99 now in your reading. You have a 9 here, and you had the 9 of Pentacles, which is 9 of Pentacles. Let's give that a little more credit than I did. 9 of Pentacles is fantastic for self-sufficiency, financial gain and growth, luxury, Libra. Living in the lap of luxury here. That's what that Queen of Cups does too. She's all about the comforts, nurturing herself. right? So this is amazing. I feel like a lot of you, you're nurturing a dream into existence. Let's get some money moves cards. Other messages for Libra. No, before we do that, we're actually going to get, no, okay. All right. Yeah, here we go. We'll do the money moves. All right. All the decks I use are down below. Okay, partnership. So prioritizing connections. One particular connection in particular is Libra, could actually be really affecting everything. But at the same time, it's how we, there could also be this twist. I can use the exact same words and it can mean something totally different. One particular connection could really affect everything. So there's that, right? So collaboration, business partners, sharing, a union, a connection could really help. Again, feeling good in one particular connection or partnership in your life could really affect everything. It's like, oh, doesn't it feel good to be valued? All right, we have wellness, we have defeat. Yeah, so there's a kind of like, we've got them both here. Feeling strong, then not feeling strong. Just, this is about not worrying about starting over. Don't fear it. There's going to be disappointment. That's part of life, right? We know that. But living a healthier lifestyle, things like resting, nutrition, fitness, those can all make you feel really strong too. So maybe like nourishing, having a love for self can really affect finances as well. I feel like, again, you're your greatest asset, your greatest resource. So invest in yourself, and then I feel like the universe will invest more in you. We have a helping hand. Yeah, the universe is going to come in and help you out. But also just know that you can't handle everything yourself. No one can. This is about getting assistance. You have cards of cooperation here, support from others, help on the way. Multiple cards say that to me anyway, like that Five of Pentacles, the partnership card, the Queen of Cups. That can all be help coming in. All right, what else do we have? Anything else? Let's see if we want to get into another card here. This is a huge deck, so let's see what we have here for Libra. Adjustment. So the old ways are no longer effective. Old ways are no longer effective, right? You're in a stage that requires a new approach. So this is a new viewpoint or a different partnership. There's that word again. Embrace the opportunity for growth and change. Embrace that opportunity for growth and change. What else? And I would encourage you on this 7-7 portal to really look into 777, 77, all the all the angel numbers. Then we have the journey of birth. That reminds me of the Empress. I'm hearing a name like Hofstetter and something like that. Hofstein. I just heard the name Adam too, even. Yeah. And then there's something here about like gallery, art gallery, or Gale even. I'm going to check in with my crystal ball here. Let's get some other info here. For lovely Libras, what do we see? What do we hear? What do we have? I'm actually seeing a baby hippo. So a baby hippo. Interesting. Let me get my, let's get my Ted Andrews pocket guide out here. Ted Andrews pocket guide. Where are you? Let's get the actual animal speak book here from Ted Andrews. So a hippo, Libra, hippo. It's not in there. All right. Sorry. It's going to take me just a quick moment here. Usually it's right here. I'm not sure why it's not out. There it is right here. Okay. So let's see if hippo's in here. This is the little book I'm talking about right here. All right. So hippo for Libra. I'm hearing going slow here. So hippopotamus can have to do with acting on your creative ideas. So there are sacred energies, Libra, within you that are awakening. The word he has actually next to hippopotamus is baptism. So this is not letting others distract you. It's about immersing yourself in spiritual healing. Wow, interesting. I think that's fantastic for a 7-7 portal because, sevens do have to do with things like lessons, spiritual tests and lessons, spiritual ascension even. Sevens can also have to do with introspection, okay, the mystical, right? It can have to do with nature, even a love of nature. It can have to do with truth, being observant. Let's see what we have. 7. Now I'm getting another connection to the letter G. So G is the 7th letter. So letter G. Gregory even. Oh, okay. This is all right. I'm getting a name like there's ZOO, Zoo, almost like Ziggy, but I'm seeing Jax. I think Jackson came up in another reading, but they're showing me JAX, but I'm actually, because I'm seeing cursive writing here, and that is the reason I was like, ooh, is I don't always see this amount of like a whole string, like a whole name or something, but it's hard to make out what it is because it keeps changing. And I think it's because I'm reading for a lot of people. I'm getting things like Tanner, Tony, Tanya, Tori, but I am getting Zoe. I see Zoe here. That was one of the first things I saw, actually. But then I also saw like ZOO. So that's really interesting. Well, let's tell us more. This is the part of the reading that does take a little while longer with the crystal ball messages. You know, I can't rush my my clairvoyance here. Um, yeah, I'm seeing dog energy. So stuff going on with the dog, maybe, or you have a dog on the other side coming to say hi. I'm getting lamb. All right, so lamb, um, lamb for Libra. I don't know if we have that in this little book, but so look up lamb, the spiritual meaning of lamb for your homework, if you'd like. And yeah, that's that. I don't want to have you just sitting and doing nothing. All right, here we go. So let's see if there are any other like precautions or things to overcome for Libra. Then I'm going to do the entrepreneur cards. We have undiscovered talents. Libra, look to your past. There could be a hidden talent that you possess that you haven't discovered yet. Not as an adult, anyway. Look back into your past. Think of all the things you were good at as a kid. Even those skills that seem useless now could easily still be hidden talents. What were you really drawn to? Speaking of drawing, were you someone who doodled in class? Maybe you have more artistic abilities than you realize. You also have not valuing your time. If you want others to value your time, you need to value your time. Right? So this is about not using your time wisely, spending time on things that don't count. Stay in charge of your time. Evaluate the hours in your days. See if there's a lot of wasted time that you could manage better. Prioritize your goals and decide what you're important. Advice from Spirit there. Now, I don't think I even really got into this card. I was just like, oh, it reminds me of the Empress. But this is really connecting now to this evaluating your own time and remembering your worth. This is about remember that transforming big dreams into reality is going to take time, but the rewards that come with it are worthwhile. So keep moving forward. You're very close to achieving your goals. You had that for the month of July, that you are so close to the victory. It's like you can taste it. You're so close, you can taste it. You can feel it. You know this is coming in, right? Jupiter is going to give us a lot of gifts for some of us, okay, depending on where it is in your particular chart. Jupiter just changed into Leo. So, all right, let's see, from Cancer to Leo. Now, for entrepreneurs, I'm hearing a name like Shelby, too. All right, we have, funny, I said I'm hearing a name, and then this card, this says naming, okay. Card 5, so naming. Let's see what this is all about. It says, you ask what's in a name, I answer just about everything you do. That's by Morris Mandel, educator and journalist. The best names are memorable and highlight what you do best, especially when you're new to the market. So, what is every word you can think of in association with your product or business? What are its defining attributes? What words do you associate with those words? What emerges when you try to put them together into different combinations? I'm going to give you a classic example. My channel name, Schoolhouse Intuitive. Initially, this channel started out as an intuitive channel for teachers. I have a teaching background. So I was like, schoolhouse, intuitive. Like it didn't just happen like that. There were a lot of things that I did, and I did something similar to this. I associated like what am I really want to be associated with? What would connect to the audience? Da, da, da. So that's how, schoolhouse intuitive. That's kind of like a perfect example of this card. The name kind of says some things without saying, too much. It kind of, and it's interesting, right? It's different. So anyway, but yes, trust your judgment here. There's also this energy I'm getting that you're going to find a perfect match. Okay, that is coming in right now. It could even be, it doesn't feel ideal, but it is, right? Because it could even be, again, that sort of like romantic partnership or something coming in for you, Libra. What else do we have? No, not that. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do our activation here. Then I'll get into, all right, let's do our activation here. Abundance activation. We'll get into the other stuff. Oh, card 34, Awakening. What's 3 and 4? Another 7. So this is remembering who you're who you are. It's a conscious upgrade. So remembering who you are, conscious upgrade. As you let go of old self-concepts, your true self emerges. All about awakening. There's abundance awakening for you. That's what this is. So the affirmation, feel free to claim it below or just say it out loud for yourself. It is safe for me to be my true radiant self. It is safe for me to be my true radiant self. We've talked about this a lot, Libra, on this channel, and we will continue to. You should not have to dull it down, dim it down to fit into your current situation. Your environment may not be supporting you. Chaos around you is going to create it within you, right? It's why we declutter and things, right? It's why we keep our working space clean and just our space in general. Okay, so this is about letting the universe, you're ready because you're allowing yourself to be your full self, your full potential, magician, right? Ace of Pentacles, knowing what to do with that potential when it comes in, knowing what to do with that seed of potential and possibility. Let's get a numbers card. That was quick. Oh my goodness, Libra. There it is again, rounding out your reading, another 10-10, a sign of a new path. 10-10, all over this reading. Okay, so let your soul grow and trust in new beginnings. So homework for you may be to look up on your own 77 and then 10-10, right? 77 and 10-10. And actually, the 10th of the month could be very lucky for you when it comes to July, and I'm going to say August. Libra, some key takeaways from this reading. July is going to reward new learning, relationship building, preparation, okay, refinement, believing that you have value, living your value. The more you're visible and proactive, Libra, the more fortunate the month becomes. All right, that's what is going on here with a lot of this. Let's see what else we have. Let's get a galactic angel message. We'll get an animal healing card, and then I'm going to do fortune cookies for each zodiac sign. You know how to show support if you enjoyed this. Finding courage and inner strength. So stand your ground and stay true to your beliefs. Again, you shouldn't have to completely change or dull it down, dim it down to fit in, right? That's bologna sandwiches. All right, what else do we have? Whoa, just heard the name Judy. All right, we have Seahorse, card 8, solution, root chakra. A brilliant answer to your question is closer than you think. Don't make things too complicated. Allow life to be easy. I'm getting a question right now about, like, will I get that job? Let's get a card on that. Will I get that job? Orbiting space. Something or someone is orbiting you, wanting to make its presence known. It's coming in. If you haven't found that perfect place for you yet, it's coming in. It's around you. And I think a lot of you can feel that energy already. All right, what do we have here? Tarot, like with yes or no, it's you want to leave it more open. So that's why we don't always get, a yes or no with tarot. That would be kind of boring, wouldn't it? All right. 23. Crane, filtering perception, solar plexus chakra. Something here that's closer than you think. Okay, it's closer than you think. So what you see in the world around you mirrors your perception of yourself. Stop projecting fear and see only love. Again, it's about valuing yourself, awakening that abundance within to see it on the outside. All right, let's get fortune cookies for each zodiac sign now. Let's start out with Aries. Aries, society. So say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way, Aries. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles will be the result. Wow. Go Aries. Go Aries. All right. Next, let's go to Taurus. Declutter. Declutter your life. Let go of correspondence, objects, people that you no longer want. Okay. It says someone could hurt your feelings and reveal a new side of themselves, and you may want to avoid them. That's what it says. Gemini. Sexuality. Existing relationships could find a new passion and heightened sexual attraction. Oh, all right. Opportunities for marriage, good family life are strong, but if single, beware of temptation that could lead to trouble. Also, a child could bring great joy. Cancer. Jealousy. Uh-oh. Jealousy. So this is watching who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. Leo. Some challenges here, possibly, Leo. Take time out from problems or conflicts, or approach softly to avoid making things worse. All right, another one for Leo. Nature. Just like with Cancer, Leo, get outside. Get outside. Interact with nature in the outdoors, or be around animals, farmlands, by the ocean. This could be good for the soul and healing. Virgo. Wisdom. So this is focusing on the past to lose the future. That's what happens, right? When we focus on the past, we lose the future. So heed advice from an older person, which will allow you to move on. Now, Libras. Libra gets 2. Care required and assert yourself. So guard yourself against deception and be careful of making foolish mistakes at this time. All right. Noted. And assert yourself. Go for what you want. The time is ripe for soulmate, connection, also birth of a child or other, All right. Whoops. Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio has health. An excellent time to start an exercise program or diet. Make many friendships. Oh, you're making many friendships too on the horizon. Sagittarius. Commitment. No, communication. Sorry. Commitment. No, it's communication, Sag. A reunion could bring love or a rekindling of friendships. A lucky win seems likely. Capricorn. Luck. A sudden change of luck is likely. Things are working in your favor. It's an excellent time for networking. A lot of us, we are getting that networking card big time, all over these cards. Aquarius. Burnout. Careful of this. Your hard work will see results, but your health needs to be maintained. Check in with a doctor, dentist, health professional, and try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And Pisces. Personal riches. I was hearing, Pisces, when I was pulling this, something about you're going to make it click. Something's going to click. It's just going to click. Going to reach that goal. Here we go. Small successes are likely now and bigger ones are on the way. Finances could improve dramatically, but avoid get-rich-quick schemes. All right? So that's what I have for everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I'm wishing you the very best when it comes to the month of July and beyond. Thanks so much. Take care. Oh, and check out your other readings too.